Hi, welcome back. Thank you so much for joining me again today. Today, I thought we would focus on the weather because it's a little up, it's a little down, it's winter bliss, and then it's warm again. So we're sort of in that in between before we hit California winter for those of you who are in other parts of the world. Don't be discouraged because I'm sure that it's a little bit more consistent in some ways too. If nothing else, it's definitely cooler. So I figured we would start out, do a little Pilates, kind of go over the C curve concepts and warm our bodies up so we can really get deep into warming. Breathe a little so that way we can open up the organs and also clear any fog that we have going on in our bodies, head, shoulders, and neck. And then do some actual Pilates and then go on the wall to cool down and or walk. All right. So walking meaning literally we're going to lay on the wall and utilize our feet and just acknowledge our feet because oftentimes we don't do that. So I'm going to bring you down here with me. We'll get this party started. All right. So in classical Pilates, we have a lot of lovely ways of acknowledging the C curve, right? So the C curve specifically is not just rounding forward. So the body doesn't just kind of collapse sideways, if you've seen. It's more of this like lifting, pulling the abdomen in up, and then from there rounding the body down, right? Just to give you a little visual. And it's very much lifting and then up and around, right? So there's not too much in the thoracic spine rounding. There's not a lot of dumping in the lower back, right? It's really like even if you're seated in a chair, you can still find that lengthening. It's a two-way stretch for the crown of the head and then the lower body anchoring. And then there's this beautiful lift by pulling the abdomen in and up and allowing the body to go over, right? So the top of the head and in between the cervical spine, or I should say the crown of the head and the sternum, stays long, and then it has almost like this spaciousness that you're encouraging between each vertebra, okay? So while we go through the motions of all of that jazz, let's get this party started, right? So from here, if you need a chair, you can find a chair to sit in it. Otherwise, you can allow the legs to get long. And we're going to start with the fingertips just in front of us. So it'll look sort of like this. The fingertips are going to be here. The body's pulling in and up. The fingertips are going to go in between, and you're going to pull the navel in, pull the abdomen in, find the heel muscles or the bandhas, and then allow your body to dump the air as you reach the fingertips forward, pull the navel back, and dump the air, let go. Right? And you notice I'm not collapsing. This allows my fingertips to slide forward. Then I'm going to engage my glutes and slowly using my abdomen, bring the spine back on top of the pelvis until the head comes all the way up to the top. All right, same thing again. Breathe in. Exhale, dump it out. Pulling the navel in. Allowing the arms to encourage the round spine. Pushing through the heels if possible, otherwise you're seated in a chair. And stack the vertebra all the way back up. Remember, before you start any new exercise, to be sure to check in with your primary care physician. Breathe in. Exhale, dump the air and round forward. One more time, stack the vertebra all the way back up, pulling the navel in, engaging the glutes, pushing through the heels. One more time, breathe in. Exhale, dump it out. From this position, stack your body all the way back up as you push through the heels, get taller and taller and taller. All right, now if that was enough for you, you'll stay there. Notice my ribs are trying to flare out. Find your rib cage, humble the ribs by pulling the abdomen in, reach the fingertips long or keep them down on the ground. The arms are going to reach long, you're going to breathe in. Palms are going to slide across the table and spine stretch forward, dump the air. If you feel any discomfort in your back, you can bend the knees, you can sit in a chair. You don't want any aggravation if you have any history with sciatic nerve pain. So same thing again, honoring that C curve. 2 stretches are happening through the spine, arms reach long, breathe in. Exhale, dump it out. Pull the navel in, find the abdomen, pull it in, pull it in, pull it in. It's almost like someone's foot is right in front of you. Then you're going to activate the seat and stack the vertebra all the way back up, pressing the palms into an imaginary table, Pull the abdomen in without flaring your ribs. One more time. Breathe it on in. Exhale, dump it out. Pulling the navel back, pull it back, pull it back, pull it back. Reach the arms, push the heels, stack the vertebra, pull the navel in, stack. Pull the navel in, stack. Pull the navel in, stack. Reach the fingertips and rest. All right, so when you go to reach forward, you're not releasing in the back, right? There's this lifting that's going on where the abdomen is pulling in and up, and then you're literally, from the back of the body, scooping the navel in without sinking into the pelvis, right? The abdomen is literally creating roundness. So it'll look different on everyone because everyone doesn't have the same mobility in their spine, right? Bend the knees will do the same thing. This is a modification, so you can put the hands behind the head. Shoulder blades go down the back. Try to avoid sticking the ribs out. Find the ribs, pull them underneath you. Take a deep breath. Utilize the hands to get taller through the crown of the head. And then exhale, dump the air. Notice I'm not collapsing. My elbows are going forward without pulling on my neck. And then I'm going to stack the vertebra all the way up by activating the seat. Pull the abdomen in. Lengthen through the spine. Feel the crown of the head go up. And again, breathe in. Exhale, dump the air. So really activating the quadratus lumborum, those two muscles, long muscles in the back that are like the quads of the back. Stack it up, stack it up, stack it up, stack it up. All right, I'm gonna do this twice more, right? If you haven't done this variation, try it. Even if you have the mobility to do the other version, all right? Breathe in, lift it up. Exhale, dump it out. Pulling the navel in, pulling the navel in, pulling the navel back. All right, yes, I can bring my elbows to my knees, but the point is to try to create space in my vertebra while curving my spinal cord. Stack the vertebra as you engage the seat. Get taller and taller and taller. Last one for good measure. Breathe in. Exhale, dump the air out. Keep scooping the navel up. Scoop it up, scoop it up, scoop it up. And the higher you scoop the navel, the more availability there may be in your spine. Stack it back up as you pull the abdomen in and get taller, and get taller, and get taller, and release the arms, right? So from there, you should feel the difference in your back. It should feel utilized. You should feel a stretch. You should feel the muscles are warmer as we move on, all right? So utilizing the back, warming up the spine, stretching out the vertebra, forward. So now we're going to do the same thing. The only difference, I'll turn the other direction so you can find the spaciousness in the upper back, right? So the goal is to extend the spine. We started with curving the spine, and we're going to extend the spine, warming the front and the back body up. Sideways, lift up the spine. The fingertips can go to the back. Notice I'm not dumping in my lower back. So I'm not hyperextending my back. I'm not leaning backwards. I'm going where I am from here. So if you need a seat, get one. Fingertips go behind, and I'm lifting up the front of my chest to get taller and taller. And literally, it's almost like someone's lifting me up from my upper back, activating the thoracic spine, making space in the SI area. And then allow your body to come back to center. Again, breathe in, exhale, and lift. Breathe in again, exhale. Get to your max and then come back to the upright position, all right? I'm gonna do a small little profile check. Lifting up, notice my ribs, they wanna stick up forward. I'm just gonna keep growing through the spine, growing through the spine. I'm trying to paint the ceiling with the front of my rib cage. Keep lifting and lifting and lifting until it feels like you can't go anymore, and then come back to the center. And you should definitely feel this in the upper back, all right? Same thing again, breathe and lift up through the waist. Find natural breathing here, all right? Suspend, keep growing and growing. Use your fingertips and utilize them to lift up through the top of the chest and lift and lift and lift, and then come back to the center, all right? So from here, put the hands behind the head. We're gonna do the same thing with the hands behind the head. If it feels too much in the shoulders or you're overusing your neck and shoulders, skip the arms and keep your hands behind you to support your back. Otherwise, go with me, hands behind the head. Lift up through the chest and keep lifting. And keep lifting and extension, keep lifting, keep lifting, keep lifting. And your hands are almost like a little elevated pillow. So you're allowing your chest to get taller, making sure you go to your limit and then bring it all back up. All right, I'm gonna switch legs in front. All right, you'll feel in the hip flexors if you have weak hip flexors, one may be working a little bit more than the other. Lengthen through the spine, lift it up, 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 and bring it all the way back in. Making sure that when you're going to elevate and extend in the spine, that you're not just letting go, right? Wherever you are in your process, in your movement, you really are taking advantage of the fact that you may not have full use of your back, you may not have full use of your extension, right? So put it in a place where you feel the warmth in the lower back and the front of the body without compromising your, your actual comfort, right? So we're gonna move along from here. Keep your legs crossed or stay seated. Take a nice deep inhale, lengthen through the waist. Bring your left hand on top of the opposite knee, and the opposite hand stays behind the body. Find your waist. Your waist is gonna move, your pelvis will stay. So as you breathe in, exhale, twist the body, look toward one side of the room. Keep the hand where it is, and your goal is to keep your pelvis anchored as you start to look to the back of the room. And exhale through the mouth. Come back to the center, and we'll do the same side again. Lengthen up through the waist as you breathe in. Exhale, bring one palm on top of the knee. You're gonna dump the air as you start to twist. Keep your pelvis totally anchored, so it's like two flashlights in front of you. And as you wring out the towel, one side of the body is anchored, the other side is helping support the twist in the upper back and really massaging the intestines simultaneously. Come back to the center. All right, same thing again. Nice twist, breathe in. Exhale, twist it out. Good, allow your pelvis to stay. If you want to go a little bit more, you can assist by pressing against the knee. Keep looking back, keep looking back, keep looking back, and then come back to center. All right, same thing. Let's switch the legs in front and lengthen up through the spine. Bring the opposite hand to the knee. One hand's behind the back. Take a nice deep breath as you inhale. Notice if your body is shortening on one side than the other. Find length with both sides of the waist. The obliques should be even, so there's no like wrinkle in the shirt diagonally, but unless naturally you have scoliosis, right? Find space, and even if you do, really work both sides of your body to go to their max, and then you'll twist, exhale, dump the air, keeping the left or right hip back, depending on which way you're facing. Keep looking toward the back, find the abdomen, feel the anchoring, come back to the center. All right, we'll do that twice more. Make sure those two hip bones, the ischium bones underneath your pelvis are rooted, perpendicular into the ground. So if I'm profile, I'm not here, right? We're gonna make sure that we find this length through the back, right? There's nice long space both sides of the waist. And if you can't find that, that's when it's the opportunity for you to grab a chair and, find support. This is for you in your practice alone. It doesn't matter who's paying attention. It's really about you kind of finding the center in yourself and working to your maximum. So breathe in, exhale. Good, get taller. And come back to the center one more time. Breathe in. And twist it out. It's almost like one side of the body is moving away from the other. And then come back to the center. It should feel really good. All right? From here, let's have you come to the center. Bring the hands behind the back and slowly round your spine all the way down. Reach the arms all the way up. Exhale, grab behind the hamstrings. Curl all the way upright. Get really tall. Same thing again. Exhale, round down through the spine, pulling the navel back, pulling the navel back, pulling the navel back, and reach the arms all the way upright. Try not to over-tuck your pelvis, right? Sometimes I do that. Curl it on up. And if this isn't easy for you, you can have somebody anchor your feet, right? And back behind the hamstrings. Find that C curve. The C curve isn't dumping down, right? It's lengthening through both sides of the waist, while you use your abdomen to keep your body as long as you can to curl down. It's like almost like there's a nice, like a little furry friend climbing to slowly bring you back down to the floor. Reach the arms up. Exhale, climb it back up. All right, get tall. We're gonna do this one more time. And curl it on down. Get nice and warm in the lower spine, sides of the waist. Find that anchoring in the pelvis. Great. Now from here, bridging. All right, so palms stay down to begin. We'll have you plant your feet down onto the floor, anchor them. Tilt the tailbone up toward the ceiling. All right, nice little small pelvic tilt. Pull the abdomen back in while you do. So you have a little bit of space if you can fit your fingers underneath your pelvis. While you're there, your goal is to pull the abdomen in as you tilt your tailbone up. All right, so squeeze the belly in and up, press into all 10 toes. Big toe, pinky toe, and heel are like suction cups pressing down into the floor. Reach the arms above you. And then from here, slowly lower your pelvis down one vertebra at a time. Release your hips and allow a natural curve to come into the back. So for me, it's probably going to look a little bit bigger than most people because I have a little bit of hyperextension naturally. Press the palms down, tilt the tailbone up, press the feet into the floor. Good. You have that same pelvic tilt. Pull the abdomen in, making sure that you're slowly bringing the tailbone slightly higher than the mid-back, so than your lumbar spine, yeah? Press into both feet as you do. Reach the arms all the way up. All right, and if you feel free, you can go a little bit higher. As long as you're not hyperextending, because you want your pelvis to stay slightly higher than your lumbar. Feel the feet push into the floor, and then slowly roll the spine down one vertebra at a time. It should feel really great, and if it doesn't, check in with your body and go, okay, what is it that I can do to improve this, or if this exercise is just not for me, right? Again, tilt your tailbone off the floor, press into the feet, feel the backs of the legs. This time we're going to have you bridge up. So not a hyper curve with the upper spine, but the whole pelvis is trying to go to your highest height. Press the hands down into the floor, pull the navel in, all right? And then from here, pressing the 10 toes into the floor, you're going to try and lift your right heel, keeping the toes onto the floor, lower it down. Lift the left heel, press the hands and feet into the floor, keeping the pelvis even, and lower it down. Same thing. Press. You should feel nice and warm in the posterior of your body, keeping the pelvis level, and lower the heel. Same thing, opposite foot. Press and lower and press. You're just alternating, lifting the heel, lowering the heel. Try to make sure that your knees and ankles are fairly lined up, right? No strain in the knees. Lift and lower, and lift and lower. Again, lift and lower. All right, one more time. Good. Now from here, lower the pelvis down one vertebra at a time. Release your pelvis and check in, right? Put both hands on your pelvis and almost make space between the hips and the lower back and just shift side to side. Right? And I'm going to move my heels back a tiny bit. I like to really stack as much as I can, keeping my knee and ankle on top of each other so I don't get any strain to my knees. It's really going to depend on your body. But press into the big toe, pinky toe, and heel. Tilt the tailbone up and then bridge your hips up nice and high. All right? From here, if you feel like you're pushing up so high that you're feeling strain in your lower back, lower your hips halfway as you pull your abdomen in. And then you're going to press into all 10 toes. Press into the palms. Lift your heels. Press the heels into the floor, all right? Lift your heels. Notice how my chest is not hyperextended. Lift both heels. You can alternate like you did on the first side if it's a little bit more stable for you. Lift and lower. Same thing again. Press those palms and lift and lower. Press and lift and lower. One more time. Press and lift and lower. Good. Press the feet down and slowly as you find your upper back's going to try and connect with the floor before the lower. So keep pulling the abdomen in and slowly unravel the spine until it reaches all the way back down into the mat. All right? Zip the inner thighs closed so the big toes touch. Both feet are on the ground. Press the feet down into a shoulder bridge again. So palms are going to press down. Tilt that tailbone up. Squeeze the inner thighs. Pull the navel in. All right, and then we're going to do a very similar variation. So keep the inner thighs as close together as you can. So if someone puts something really important in between the knees, the wind or a ceiling fan could blow, and there would be no way that it would come out, right? So squeeze the inner thighs, and we're going to try and lift both heels, keeping the hips up the same height, squeeze them, and press the heels down. Notice my pelvis is off the ground. If it's too much for you, you can put your pelvis down and do the same thing. Again, squeeze the inner thighs, press the hands down. It's really not about how many things you do, but how thoroughly and how deeply into the exercise you can go. All right, 4 more. Press and lift, press the palms, lower the heels. Squeeze the inner heels, squeeze the knees, and lower the heels. You can feel inner thighs, hamstrings, calves, all of the back of the body. No lower back. If you feel the lower back, you can try to lower the hips down a little bit and press the palms and lift up and lower down. We got 3 more here and lift up and lower down. 2 more and lift. So the gastrocnemius, those calves should feel it. And 1 more time. Lower the hips down, lowering and release. All right, from here, grab behind the right hamstring, give it a nice little pull to stretch it out, and then reach that leg up to the ceiling. Again, bend the knee into the chest, stretch it on out, reach it on up. 1 more time, breathe in, exhale, reach it out. And let's do 2 more rounds since we're here together. I'm gonna do 5 total, bending and straightening the leg. And last one. From here, ankle circle the foot, 1, and 2, and 3. And notice the pelvis if it's sort of going askew. Good, reverse it for 5. Really articulating through the whole foot. 3 more, 2 more, and 1. Good. From this position, breathe into the back of the leg. Feel the knee. If it's too much to straighten out the leg, you can keep it soft and just reach through the heel. Keep both sides of the pelvis on the floor. And then from this position, climb it up for a moment if it's available. So you breathing into the back of the hamstring without pulling the legs forward. You keep the leg where it is and climb toward the leg as you look toward the navel. Take a nice deep inhale and exhale. Good. Walk down a little bit. Pull the shoulders down. Breathe again. Good, now you can bring the leg towards you as you pull the shoulders down completely on the floor. If you need to bend the knee, feel free, right? Work your hips down to get a nice stretch behind the hamstring. Reach through the toes to get a stretch on top of the foot. Feel the breath. And then bend the knee and release. And then feel the difference in the right leg versus the left after you've done that. Hopefully you feel a change, all right? Grab behind the second leg. So pull that knee into the body, stretch it up. And bend it in. And the goal is to keep both hips anchored on the floor. Reach it on out, right? Even as you bend the knee into the chest, stretch it up. And bend it in. And 2 more, reach. And then 1 more time and lengthen the leg up. Good, stay here for a moment. Keep the leg at 90. Don't pull it toward you if you can help it. And then ankle circle around for 1. So really working on the symmetry in the pelvis versus just pulling the leg wildly into your body. All right, and then we're going to reverse it other direction, 4, 5, articulating through the foot. 4, anchoring the hips. 3, it's like you're stirring a pot with this foot. And 1, all right, and then from this position, let the leg stay long. Walk it up a little bit, breathing into the back of the leg. Keeping the knee to the sky and the opposite leg. Work as much as you can, the hips down, right? And then you're going to walk the hands down a little bit. Breathe into that. Pull the leg towards you a bit. Release the head by pulling the shoulder blades down onto the floor. So breathe into the stretch. Really work the leg back to 90 degrees. So you're not pulling the leg towards you. You're really working the pelvis down onto the floor. And then pull the knee into the chest. And release the leg. And it should feel like you have a new set of legs. Fabulous new set of legs, right? Okay, moving right along. Stretch the legs out. Reach the heels long. Flex through the heels. So the heels are reaching like you're standing up and then just reaching through the sky. Take a nice deep inhale here. And as if you were standing, I want you to slowly allow your hands to come down to the side of the waist, right? And we're going to do the 100. It's slightly out of order, but we're going to do them here so you can get the full body to warm up without lifting the legs off the ground. So usually when we do the 100s, you have bent knees, you can have tabletop legs, you can be standing up, you can even have the legs covered on the floor, right? With the okay, I want you to do a really simple version and still get that same heat, all right? So press your legs all the way out. Zip the navel in and up, right? Like you have a little zipper, zip it up. Find that Pilates V position by slowly turning the feet out to a very, very, very conservative V shape, all right? Nothing crazy, no wide 180-degree ballerina turnout, like a military stance, all right? Arms are gonna reach up, hands come down to the side of the waist, and instead of keeping the arms completely locked, I want you to soften the elbows And you're going to pump the arms without a big disturbance in the body, all right? So you're going to inhale for 5 and exhale for 5. And while you pump the arms, I want you to imagine dribbling a basketball underneath both palms, right? So it has to be steady. It has to be together, all right? They're working together. Here we go. We're going to breathe it out. I'm going to breathe in for 5 counts. Exhale for 5 counts. Here we go. Breathe it in and out. Breathe in and out. Into your nose, out through your mouth. Three more. And rest. How did that go? I don't know. I hope it went well for you. Here we go. Let's roll all the way upright. Reach the arms forward and then slowly bend the knees. All right? I hope that was amazing and you felt all of the breath. So when you really take the time to really breathe deeply into the whole trunk of your body, it can be almost like dizzying. So depending on your body and depending on how much you've been moving and how much you've been breathing, it can really like take you to a place of like invigoration where you feel like I'm alive, I feel really good, or you can feel dizzy and overwhelmed and like this is too fast. So take note and check in with your body. If you're a person that always practices big movements and you're exercising regularly, it can be really approachable. And sometimes when you have a really strong practice, you go to do that deep breathing and you'll realize, actually, I'm not breathing while I'm exercising. So take the time and understand that today is just today. So while we do these exercises, check in with your body and make decisions that work well for you. All right? So on that note, we're going to go on the wall. So find a wall wherever you are in your space. And hopefully if you're not able to practice with me right now, you can try this later at home. And I'm literally going to put the length of my mat on the wall. And my feet will go up against the wall. Okay? And I might actually bring depending on, let's see. I think you guys can see me from here. Catch my voice. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go really, really close to this back wall here, right? So almost my pelvis, like almost I can actually shift back and put my pelvis against the wall, right? And I'm so close and I'm going to almost the front corner of the mat, right? In fact, I'm going a little bit further than that. From there, I'm laying down on my side and I'm still bringing my hips even closer. And then both of my feet will be on the wall, all right? So my whole body is in the center of the mat. My legs are on the wall and they're extended, right? This might be more than enough for most, and some people may not even be able to get their pelvis against the wall, and that's fine, fine, fine. If that's the case, spend some time with your knees bent and just be on the wall. Bend one knee to stretch it out, all right? Bend the other knee, and I'm going to start with a really simple series of breathing. 2 breaths right, 2 breaths left. 3 breaths in Bakasana, that butterfly position where the feet are together and they're on the wall and you're stretching. And then we're going to work on the feet for a moment, okay? So if you can't do anything, try that, all right? Here we go. We're going to breathe and then one knee into the chest. Give yourself 2 deep breaths. So this is like the beginning of Bodhichasana in yoga. So reach through one heel, one knee is bent against the chest. The foot is on the wall. Give me 2 deep inhales and exhale. Again, breathe into your back and chest. And exhale. All right. One more for good measure. Breathe it in. And out. Switch it out. So extend the opposite leg. Put that foot in flexion. Bend the knee. Breathe into the lower back. Allow the blood to go into the lower back, into the pelvis. Reach through the heel. Breathe into the kidneys and the lower back. Inhale. Exhale. Again, breathe in. Breathe out. Once more, breathe in through the nose. Exhale out through the mouth. All right, from this position, we're going to bring both of the feet together, Place the feet on the wall, right? They can be here if this works for you. They can be really close to the hips. The knees are going to go wide, and you're going to breathe here for 5 breaths, keeping your hips down. Breathe it in, and exhale. Hands on the ankles if it's available, or on top of the feet, depending on your body. Breathe on in, and breathe out. Inhale. Exhale. Last 2, breathe it on in. Breathe out. One more time, breathe in. And out. Good. From this position, stretch both legs all the way up toward the wall if it's available. Otherwise, stay in the last position. And you're going to point through all 10 toes. This mimics the footwork to some degree, a manual version, and then flex all 10 toes, right? If you can go to the 90-degree angle, point the feet and flex the feet. And as you do, you're going to breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. 2 more, breathe in, breathe out. Last one, breathe in, and out. Give me a small V position. Point through the toes and flex through the heels. Again, point through the toes, flex through the heels. And point through the toes, flex through the heels. One more, and point. And flex. Good. Come back to parallel position. Good. And if it's available to you and you want to stretch a little more, you can bring the legs towards your body. Otherwise, keep them on the wall. Feel the lower back, then both knees into the chest. Take them here. Both feet will go onto the wall if it's available to you, and you'll give yourself 3 inhale and exhales. Breathe into the nose. Exhale out through the mouth. 2 more. Breathe into the nose. Exhale out through the mouth. One more time. Take a nice deep inhale into the nose. And then you're going to roll onto your right side. Take your time, use your hands, bring the hands onto the floor, and then bring yourself up to a seated position. All right? Get on out of there how you can, and then we'll come to the top of the mat. All right? We're going to finish with some really simple breathing. I'm going to put on my toes because my body is cooling down, which it's really useful for. And we're going to do some very, very easy diaphragmatic breathing, Pilates style, for 5 rounds. And when we do, we will make sure that we focus on having support in the back. So if it's not comfortable for you to be seated on the floor and you need a chair, now's a great time to do that. Otherwise, stay here with me. And you're going to breathe in for 4 counts. You're going to exhale for 4 counts, and we'll do 5 rounds, right? Find a soft place in your gaze. You can either keep your eyes open, slightly gaze down to the floor, or you can just stay where you are and plant your hands down. And breathe in for 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold it. 2, 3, 4. Exhale, release. Breathe in for 4. Hold it for 4. Exhale for 4. Inhale for 4. Hold it. Exhale. Inhale for 4 through the nose. Hold it for 4. Exhale for 4 through the mouth. Inhale. Hold it. Exhale. One more time, inhale. Hold it. Exhale. Good, return to your natural breathing. Feel the differences from when you started moving till now. And then slowly open up your eyes. All right. Thank you so much for joining me again. I hope you enjoyed that. I'll be back next Thursday. So please feel free to bring it in and give me your best commitment until we get into the next year, and then commit even more. And remember, sometimes it's difficult to start, but you can join here 1 p.m. on Thursdays, and we can do it together. All right. Until next time, I'm Natalie Rand signing off. Have a beautiful day. Ciao.